Yeah, so my name is Kylie Erlinson. I'm the volunteer manager for Ronald McDonald House Charities of Denver.
Fantastic. And could you please describe the mission statement of your organization?
Of course. So, our mission is to create, find, and support programs that directly improve the health and well being of children. So, essentially, we are a place to stay for families with sick children who need to be close to the hospital. And just going a little bit more into that, our facility is similar to a hotel, so we have similar amenities, and they're at no cost to the families that stay here. We have 2 houses. One is in Denver and the other is in Aurora, which is where I am today. And our Denver house has 73 rooms and our Aurora house has 45. So we can serve 118 families a night. So yep, we basically, keep families together and keep them close to the medical resources they need.
That's phenomenal.
Mhm.
So I think you answered my question about what populations you served with that. So how does your organization impact the health of these people?
Yeah, so and to add a little bit more too to who we serve, and it kind of goes into the health is so the families we're serving are the ones that are, going to the local hospitals. So Children's Hospital and then also Rocky Mountain Children's Hospital and Presbyterian St. Luke's. And the children they need to be under the age of 21 to stay here, their families to stay here, and they have to live over 60 miles away. So we're really trying to help the families that are driving a really long distance to be near the hospitals. And the kids that we're seeing are typically high risk pregnancy, so a lot of babies, premature newborns, surgery, heart conditions, and then eating disorders. And how we, impact their health is, we're a home away from home. So at the minimum, we're a place to sleep, we're a warm meal, a hot shower. But we're, so much more than that. We're a community of other families going through similar, crises and everything. So, we're a place to decompress, a place to ease the burdens of what they're going through, that warm meal. And like I told you before we started recording, I'm in the teen room. So there's a place for teens to, just like let off some steam, play some racing car games. There's a pool table behind me, all of that good stuff. So, yeah, we're just a place to, ease the burdens and build community for them.
That's so phenomenal and such a needed service too.
Yes.
So for people who want to help out and help support y'all's mission any way they can, what do y'all need in terms of volunteers and what would volunteers be doing?
Yeah. So, our doors have been shut for almost a year and a half just due to the pandemic and, to keep our families safe. But we are slowly reopening them. We're reopening those doors to our meal program first. Our biggest priority is to feed our families. So, right now we have two different opportunities, one being dinner delivery. So, if the volunteer is also not comfortable coming yet to volunteer, we are taking donations of catered meals at both of our houses, and our families absolutely love them. Like, nothing is better than coming home from a long day at the hospital to a warm cooked meal just waiting for you on the counter in the kitchen. So that's huge. We've had some really great support over the past year and a half from that. But so then we also have the make ahead meal opportunity. So that involves groups of two coming in right now, just because we have to start with small groups, just limited capacity in our kitchens, and we're hoping as our global chapter kind of gives us more guidelines that we're able to have bigger groups. But the group comes in, makes individually wrapped meals, so they can come in, make let's just say big trays of lasagna, and then cut them up and then package them in individually packaged containers. We then will disperse them to our kitchens and our families can come and grab one whenever they'd like. The idea is too that we could then throw them in the fridge or throw them in the freezer so they could be saved for later if families are just not around at the time. So that opportunity is new. We're, experimenting at both of our houses to have it. Again, like I said, two people for now. We're hoping to make that number higher, but that is just another meal that our families don't have to worry about, and that's what's so important to us. So pre-COVID, we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner being prepared and served at both of our houses every day. So our families were used to these groups serving them food and they'd sit down and have a nice meal. And obviously in the pandemic, we can't gather like that. But the families that are staying here right now, a lot of them haven't seen what it was like before the pandemic. So they appreciate these two meals like it's like the best thing ever because they didn't know that we used to have it every day. So these meals are super important to us and it's kind of our what we're working towards the most right now. We do have individual volunteer opportunities, not currently, but we're hoping to bring those back as well soon. So they're called family ambassadors. So they actually sit at the front desk and, they help with guest family needs. They help everyone that comes in the door. And it's really fun. It's a great opportunity. So once we're ready to start recruiting for that, I'll be sure to reach out to Spark the Change because we could use the volunteers for sure. But yeah, those are kind of our three things right now. We're really hoping to slowly rebuild and reopen, but just with the pandemic, it has to be what it is.
For sure. No, it's awesome to hear y'all adapting to fit what you can. So
Yeah,
for the,
those,
oh, I'm
mhm.
sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just like the individually packaged thing, it's nice to be able to offer that, um, just as an option because the serving, I know everyone loves the serving opportunity, but it's been working well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You'll get there eventually.
Right? I know. I'm like counting down the minutes.
Sure. In the meantime, for the opportunities that are available, could you tell me about the accessibility? Some of the groups that Spark works with, we have people who are youth volunteers, VIP or age 55 and up.
Yeah.
We have groups, we do court-ordered volunteers, volunteers with disabilities.
Yeah, of course. We're in need of volunteers, so we are open to working with, all different types of volunteers. Generally, we do ask for volunteers to be over 14, and that's just because of who we're working with. And pre-COVID, it was because of the flu. We just wanted to keep our kids safe and everything. But if they're between the age of 14 and 17, we would like a parent with them. So if they're interested in that make ahead meal opportunity, it'd be a great like mother-daughter, mother-son, bonding experience, and we could target that. But yeah, we're open to, just about everyone. We are very accessible because we also have families with accessibility needs as well.
For sure, that's awesome. Good to
Yeah.
know. So my last question, my personal favorite, could
Mhm.
you share an experience you've had at your organization that shows how vital volunteers are to the work of fulfilling your mission?
Of course. So what I always like to tell people about our volunteers, and this is our regular volunteers, this is the groups that come in, they are our friendly strangers. So personally for me, like after going to a doctor's appointment that might be stressful for whatever reason, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I just need to like call my mom or call my dad and like just decompress what just happened and explain and like ask questions. Even like when I take my car in, like those stressful situations that you just want someone else to talk to. Our families are going through that too in a much bigger way. And sometimes they're here alone. It might just be mom and dad might be working, those kinds of situations, and they just need someone to talk to. So our family ambassadors at the front, they're that first welcoming face they see. They're there to help them with that, whatever they need. Our meal program volunteers, pre-pandemic, they would cook, serve, and then they would get to sit down with the families at the tables and talk to them. And that's huge for our families to just have someone to just, a stranger, friendly stranger, just to, express what they're going through. And it's really helpful to them. And that's kinda like what our biggest sell is when it comes to volunteers. They are so vital and they provide so much support in more ways than just their duties, and that's just what makes them so important to us. So, yeah.
That's awesome. It's so good
Yeah.
to hear. I feel like I learned so much about the services y'all provide. Is there
Yeah.
anything you want to add before we stop recording?
I mean, I think that's it. I guess I wanna say, like, be patient with us, keep checking our website because 'cause we're working to reopen our doors and we are looking for volunteers for sure.
Sounds good. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Yeah. Thank you, Gabby.